Hi guys. Hi guys and welcome to the Bellarmine Knights game plan session. Now we're in our second episode of these game plan sessions. Last time we covered the Liberty Flames, and now we're going on to the ASUN champions, the Bellarmine Knights. And before we start, they were not able to compete in the NCAA tournament because of the 4 layover years transitioning to D1. So that's why they weren't able to be in the tournament, and the nod was given to Jacksonville State. Now to start. Now you can see my screen. So I'm going to try to run plays a little bit here. As you can see, number 25 likes the 3 a lot. As you can see, I think they're very big, just not dribbling. They don't like to dribble that much. So they're very just quick to get down the floor. They're not going to dribble that much. They're not slow at all. But as I will say, they do like some pop outs. So sometimes some guards will set some flare screens, as I would say, or they would skip pass over. And you see they have a lot of passes. Like they take a while for possessions, but they don't dribble a lot. So they're super quick, and they're a super quick team that can definitely beat you in multiple categories with 3-pointers and definitely transition. Transition defense is one hole for them. Like getting over to this corner spot, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Getting over to this corner spot is a little bit tough for them because when you run down so quickly, you already have 3 guys kind of bunched up in one spot here, and they have to all get on their guy, and then he flips over here, so he's thinking, okay, they're going to switch over and post up. Well, then he decides to pull the trigger, and he's already floating on his guy. And so I think for Bellarmine, they have lost a lot of their good seniors. I think they have lost 3 seniors this year. So definitely just finding more depth next year, I think, is something big for them. Just for them to get more power. And obviously EKU, I think, will feel that a little bit too, losing a lot of good senior help. So, I think Bellarmine was obviously one of the best teams in the conference as they won the tournament, but I also think they got past a couple big mess ups by some teams. Obviously, Bellarmine was like 7-6, and I think the highest was 4 in all the polls. So they weren't supposed to win anything much, even of any. But something that Bellarmine does definitely do good on is they can post up bigs and try to make you feel pressured in the paint because they try to double team you. And you see they love the 3 ball. Just like EKU, they love the 3 ball. And they'll shoot as much as they can. They will not pass up any 3s at all. So, they're a super quick team. They're one of the quickest in the whole ASUN. And they're someone that can definitely beat you in multiple categories, as I said. And so I think losing Fleming, number 25, is a big loss for them. He was one of their best guys, and they're definitely not. And one of their bigs came out too of their starters. So, but one thing for them though, they love shooting the 3s, but they can't defend the 3. So that's one thing for them. For EKU to watch out for is their wing 3 and their corner 3 box outs are not the best. And they'll just let you kind of go because they're going to pound the paint, because they're going to think they kind of play a little bit old school on the defensive end, but play super kind of modern on the offensive end. Yep, like 4 dribbles around. They're not gonna dribble that much. 4 passes around. They're not gonna dribble that much, and they can create a lot of contact with their bigs. Number 22 is coming back, and I'll go on maybe an in-depth episode on rosters as another kind of set of episodes. So there's definitely a lot of things going on with multiple multiple things as of Bellarmine losing seniors, but Bellarmine can obviously get some good help with their guards and with they have a decent attraction for ASUN teams because they're one of the best teams in the conference, and as you can see, they obviously won the conference championship, so that also attracts some people, and they know that they can obviously win. So I think that obviously helps them with a lot of different things. So I think for them, just getting on the right track and making sure that they can do enough things in recruiting side and the transfer side and filling those last couple spots in. Now, obviously, I'm not recruiting for Bellarmine and I'm not recruiting for anyone else. But I will say they have got a couple good new recruits. They got a new big that really will help them. That can shoot the three a little bit. So they have a lot of power coming into next year, and they definitely will have a really good shot to win the championship. Watching these Bellarmine Tiffin highlights will kind of show me they have a lot of errors. If hanging on to the ball is one of their problems, at least last year. On free throws, if they miss a free throw and someone gets it, like if the free throw shooter does get it back, he slips it, or if they're on a corner three and he misses the shot and the rebounder gets it but then slips it, bats it, and it'll go out. So that is something that can mess them up in multiple ways. So I think for Bellarmine, it's just a lot of simple things that could really turn the game around for them, but they just have problems with different things. But I told you, they love shooting the three, and they won't go away from that. Also, something I've seen a lot is if the guard comes over, hold on. So if the guard comes over, you have a lot of space for him to work, and then the big slots over to give him a screen. But here's the play I'm talking about. Right, so the big passes it over to the guard, right? And then they kind of set up this 3-man thing here, right? So you got one on each corner and the big in the middle. The big's going to slot around, which gives the guard space to block out those two defenders so he has enough space. It's very useful for multiple teams, and this is another pass around play. So they set up 3 in the front here. 1, 2, 3, and then you set 2 bigs in the front, which this will pull off the screen, and he's on the back wall. So you pull the back wall, and then that creates space for him to drive. So I think there's multiple plays, and their playbook is super. I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it's a lot more complicated than most teams are in ASUN. So for Bellarmine, I think something on the defensive side for EKU to do is just to box out rebounds, because their bigs can get super physical in multiple aspects of the game. If they have to box out corner threes, if they have to move over and go on a mismatch, they'll do that. So multiple things for them to watch out for, because Bellarmine can do multiple things, but also their fast break defense is not the best of all things for them. So they have a lot of flaws, but they also have a lot of strengths. And so, I think Bellarmine's a team that can definitely do a lot um, for multiple type of um, reasons. They can shoot the three, they can box out, and they can create. So there's multiple things they can do, and it'll really help them going into next season because they have like some of their good players graduated, but they do have a lot of good guys coming back. So they're still going to be a pretty big force going into next year. So that wraps it up for us in our EKU Sports Podcast. See you guys